Got G23, Unit 4. Catch back up here. Major Havoc, how are you? Comps, yes. Ports, yes. Dot, yep. Light, only if you practice and train with them at night. All right, we're going to get into it. Hello, Pranic. How are you doing, sir? Hope y'all are all doing well. Cheers, everyone. First drink of the evening. Got a little Buffalo Trace. Make sure I didn't miss anybody. All right. Got some goodies to talk about. Yes, and I've been asked, I think 3 or 4 times this week about, hello, Ranger, about comps, ports, dots, lights. I always get asked about those. Like, what do you think about this light? What do you think about this comp? What do you think about this, dot? What do you think about this flashlight? So I just figured we would get into it. Oh, prayers for the wife. She just got out of surgery. Wow. Yeah, definitely prayers. So, but we're getting everything set up here. So, and then I guess you've, seen all the stuff that's came out about Charlie. All the different things, people getting popped and getting canceled. So, I'm not all for cancel culture or anything, but yes, prayers, G23. Hello, Rabbi. How are you? Can y'all see and hear me okay? Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was saying, Ranger. I'm glad he's down motors. Hopefully he will be done. Totally. I'm for free speech. We can't forget people have the right to verbally offend us. Yes, and I agree with that, Rabbi. I agree. You should have the right for free speech, but it's kind of goes also back to, when there's a death or a tragedy like that, it's kind of like, especially if you're in public speaking realm. I just think, I don't know. I just thought it was, I just thought it was very, very poor taste. But you're right. I mean, I'm not for the cancel culture and all that other stuff, but some people kind of flat out deserved it. So, how does that end? Yeah, enough is enough. That slope is always slippery. Yes, it is. I don't know if y'all saw there's a new pistol that's out. It's called the Dragon. It's made by a company. I can't remember the name of it, but it's like a really low bore axis company or pistol, and kind of looks like the Alien, but the barrel is like kind of a triangle. It's kind of weird, but they're calling it something 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 arms dragon. I don't know if y'all have seen it. It's like 5,300 bones. What's up, Clint? How are you? Yeah, it's supposed to be like even lower bore axis than the Alien. So I don't know, but it's definitely got some tricked out looking stuff. Um, I mean, it looks like it comes out of the bottom of the barrel or the bottom of the slide. It's kind of weird. Yes, I did, Dexter. Yeah, Franklin Armory. They you can buy those. No SPR, no NFA tax, no nothing. That's really cool. I think they've got two models, like a 7.5 5.56, which is really short for a 5.56. I'm not saying it's not cool, but the lethality of it, I would at least want a 10.5. My honestly, preference for burn rate and everything is really a 10.5 at least, but I would prefer 11. I'm sure 1776 won. He's all about low bore axis for some reason. What's up, Armsman? How are you, man? Yeah, I mean, I think it's crazy, you know, that granted you have free speech, but he was taken out for his free speech. I mean, you know, I guess if they couldn't win in a debate, they wanted to win the other way. Oh, is there a 12 also? What's up, Steve L? How are you, buddy? Hope all is well. Yeah, it has been very, very. I needed this drink. Whew. Did a bunch of lifting earlier today. The wife was helping, or the wife was a big help in helping with the office, getting it kind of squared away a little bit. Let's see here. But yes, they got the Franklin Armory, so that's really cool. And then that dragon. What's up, Fina? How are you? Long time no see. Big J, do you like lever guns? Yeah, I think they're cool. I had a 30-30 for a long time, and then made the bad mistake, and it was the old school Marlin. Made the bad mistake of selling it to a family member, and I won't. It was actually printed. This was like a 4-finger class. Yeah, it's been a very long day. But yes, I had a 30-30. I have a 22 lever. And I've shot other ones that weren't mine though. But I had the 30-30 and I really liked it. I mean, I think they're cool. I think they're really cool. Is it as modern and as practical? Do I prefer a scope on one? Yeah, and you can put scopes on one, but I like the kind of the more modernized ones, what people are doing with them now. I think that's a little cooler. Now, for the nostalgia, and if it's a collector's piece or something, I totally get it. There's a lot of guns that I have that are old collector's pieces, and I won't, you know, put scopes on them and stuff like that. Fina says, all good here. I'm always watching. Well, that's great. I appreciate it. We got 19 in, 7 thumbs up. Y'all smash that thumbs up. I appreciate you. Blue background. What happened with orange? Orange doesn't show up very good. I can pick different colors. Y'all let me know. I can switch it to orange. Orange better? Orange or blue? Tactical lever actions, I don't like them at all. Yeah, and I mean, that's cool. But yeah, it's orange background right there. Or is the blue better? We got a little blue and orange. Or is the blue better? I just kind of thought the blue looked better. Yeah, no, I get the nostalgia, Rabbi. You know, it's kind of like, hey, don't mess it up. Oh, the orange seems better? Oh, dang, okay. Purple. So we got, okay. Y'all can vote. We got 2 oranges and 1 purple. The red kind of looks different. Y'all can look at the red. That's red. Purple, orange does look better. Okay, well, I got a bunch of oranges. Well, y'all know I'm all about the orange. Okay, there's orange. We'll go with orange tonight. How about that? Blue? Yeah, okay. Purple. Purple. Actually, maybe purple's winning. I don't know. We can play with a rainbow. The Sheik Ingu better with the red. Did you see 1776's video yesterday evening? He said he is done with this channel, or is done with his channel on YouTube. Signed off. No, I didn't see that. You know, I mean, some people, you know, I get it. I mean, I don't know what he said. I'll probably take a look at it later. I haven't spoken with him, so I don't know. I know, you know, with that New York thing, even though he could do like other reviews, like knives and stuff like that, but I guess, you know, he's not really into that. But Rich B really on his channel. Yeah, I guess we'll have to check it out. but we've got that. He was actually alive. He was all wound up. That doesn't surprise me. He gets wound up about a bunch of stuff. So, but, you know, I mean, again, you know, free speech. You can say what you want, stuff like that. Wonder who pissed in his tacos. Who knows? He was, I guess he was wound up about something. That's what y'all are saying. I haven't seen it, so I don't know. Yeah, it's telling me to add a Q&A sticker. I'm not going to do that because it messed it up last time. So we got 17 in here and 10. Speaking of beverages, a new study stated that Wisconsin golfers are first in beer consumption, drinking 5.2 beers per round. Florida was next and Texas came in third. Wow. Doesn't surprise me. They're drinking all that Spotted Cow. Spotted Cow's good. I'm not even a beer drinker, but I do like Spotted Cow. I haven't had it in a long time. I'm sure it's probably still good. I guess you Wisconsin guys will have to let me know if Spotted Cow is still the crap. Because I used to drink it when I would go there, and I'd go there about 3 times a year. And, you know, I'm not, like I said, I'm not a beer drinker, but everybody was like, oh man, you got to get the Spotted Cow. And so I tried it and I was like, damn, this is pretty good beer. The last I heard, somebody said it wasn't as great as it used to be. I don't know if that's different. Let's see. Open carry in Florida finally. Constitutional carry. Rabbi says, speaking of beer and golf, I'm taking my team from work to Top Golf on the company dime. There you go. I've done that. I've taken dealers and stuff to company to Top Golf back in the day. I mean, it's a cool place. You know, especially if people really haven't played golf or anything like that. I think it's kind of fun. Yeah, I don't really care for it now. I mean, I haven't been in a long time. I quit going to it because it was just, you know, I always try to take it too serious. But of course, it's easy to hit it over the damn fence. And so I blasted a bunch of them and then got in trouble. But at some of those, I mean, I was hitting like 7 irons, 6 irons, and pegging the back of the fence. No, we don't. I don't talk about that. I'm not bringing my clubs. I don't want anyone touching them. Maybe 7 iron though. Yeah, I used to take some of my clubs with me. I'd take a small bag. I would, you know, like the small Sunday bag or whatever they call it, the little tiny bag. And I wouldn't bring drivers or hybrids or anything like that. I would bring like a lob wedge, sand wedge, pitching wedge, and like a 8 iron and a 6 iron, I think is what I brought. Just so you can go through the bag. Constitutional in Indiana 2 years ago, yeah. I mean, we have constitutional carry here too. You know, I mean, it's great that we have it. But I always tell everybody also, you know, it's not bad to get your LTC license. That way, you know, for your background checks, it's quick. You don't have to be ran. So your gun purchases are quicker. Plus, you can carry in a lot of other places that constitutional carry people can't. So, heard a few people panicking already. About what? What are they panicking about? Oh, the constitutional? Yeah. All of our police at first, or some, not all of them, but some were like, well, we don't know who's carrying. Yeah, you do. All you do is when you run the driver's license or the license plate, it shows if you have an LTC. It doesn't show if you're constitutional carrying. So, I get it. Open carrying a pistol is asking to get mugged. Yeah, I know that term gray man is way overused. You know, and I'm surprised somebody hasn't said something yet. I've had my lifetime in Indiana for over 20 years, still carry it with me. Yeah, I mean, I've been carrying for, golly, what is that, like 38 years? 30, I don't know, something like that. 38, 37, I don't know. Been a long ass time. Hit that constitutional thumbs up. Yeah, everybody smack that thumbs up. We got 21 in here, 12 thumbs up. Who's the top commenter right now? Armsman is in second place. Revo says agrees arms because technical printing is constitutional as open carrying in some jurisdictions. My lifetime, concealed carry permit, that is, I'm sure it says canceled permit, but I'm sure it's probably concealed. Hello, Lou, how are you? Probably me. Can't believe one person hasn't noticed yet or said something. I figured people would be like, what the hell? You remember back in the day there was those Big Johnson t-shirts? I bet this dude has a dresser full of them. Nope. I was called that before those shirts even came out. I could have made $1 billion, Lou. No, I played ball before those things even came out. Prentick says Gunwall. Yep. Rabbi, that's funny. They call you Pringles can. I know what you're saying, Lou. I know what you're saying. Oh, it's like, what was it, John Daly? Damn, this drink is going way too fast. Maybe I'll take a drink of water. Oh, Ranger had enough. Can't mess with a Ranger. That's why I gave him that wrench. Yep, I put up an item here. I've got 5 on it. And I wonder if y'all want me to do a review on it. I bought it, I paid for it. I probably could have called the company and said, hey, you want to send that out to me? But I bought it because I didn't know if I was going to keep it. But I actually really like it. So if y'all want to see a review on it, let me know. And, maybe I can do a review on it. But yeah, I got some goodies on here. I got a total of 5 on there. Yeah, Ranger 10 got him first. Yeah, Ranger, man, I'll tell you what, those wrench guys get after it, man. I appreciate y'all very much. 22 and 13 thumbs up. But yeah, as far as, like I said, my wife was a huge, huge help. She's like, hey, I'm leaving work early. You may come home and help you? And I'm like, yes, please. She got here and we started hammering. So, got stuff moved, kind of set it up, or more so, and threw the lights back here and stuff like that. I used to have those lights, but they were on that far back wall. Y'all could see it behind my head, but now they're over here. Ranger's no joke, fastest fingers in the tubes. There would be no trolls anywhere if he had a wrench on every live. Yeah, I'm telling you. Ranger, man, he's the man. Yes, especially when you're peg-legged. But man, I was cranking up some weight, like lifting some weight lifting a lot of weight today. We moved ammo. We were moving all kinds of stuff today. So, later this afternoon when I shut down, working and she got home. But yeah, we were cranking out some stuff. So, what's up, Scott79? How are you, buddy? Glad you were in the house. Scott's got that wrench too. So, like I said, y'all could build an engine with all those wrenches. What's up, DB? How are you, man? I love it, Ranger. I love it. Yep, no F's to give. That's good. That's really good. But I did want to talk about some tools. I've had some people reaching out asking about tools. I had a person reach out and say they are becoming a new technician, and what would I recommend to a new technician as far as sockets? And I'll share this with y'all if I want. This is what I told him. You know, you've got chrome vanadium, you've got impact sockets, you've got a lot of other things. But when you're first starting out, and oh, does it sound echoey? Yeah, it's an empty room. Well, it's not empty. There's a lot of stuff in here, but maybe because I'm over in this corner now. Sorry about that if it sounds weird. If you know, if you're focusing on sockets and you're needing some, and this is just my point of view, if you only have a certain dollar amount to spend, I would definitely focus on impact sockets first. Because you know, if you're taking off tires, rotating tires, I would recommend impact sockets. If you're working under the hood or taking off bolts on valve covers and stuff, I'd highly recommend impact sockets. So when you're buying sockets, I would recommend impact first, and then focus on your chromes. Now, sockets are softer metal. So, you know, and as far as the type to buy, man, I would get like Icon, Pittsburgh. You know, I wouldn't spend a fortune on them. I really wouldn't. So, but that's what I would get. Get a less expensive box, better tools. Yeah. Something about an impact wrench with impact sockets gets me excited. Yeah. Yeah, it's overwhelming the amount of stuff. And that's what this guy was saying. You know, he said, I only have so much money. You know, what should I get? And that's why I was like, man, I would get you some impact sockets. You know, and everybody's like, oh, you gotta have cordless. You know, you gotta have cordless. When you're first starting out, every shop has air. So I would recommend a really good air tool. You know, like a half-inch impact or half-inch impact gun. And I would recommend pneumatic, honestly. You can get them, they came down a lot in price. That way you get your feet wet, you know what you're doing, and then go into the cordless, because if you're first starting out, you're probably going to be being a looby-dooby, you know, rotating tires, changing oil, you know, doing serpentine belts, things like that. I doubt they're going to throw you in building engines. They won't in a dealership for sure. So that would be my recommendation. You know, if y'all disagree or agree, you know, let me know, whatever y'all think. Yeah, Dexter, exactly. That's what I was saying. If you want to go with Icon or Pittsburgh or something like that, I recommend it. Yeah, I got the Craftsman box at Sears loaded up on Better Tools. The only thing is if you get a very thin box, and I started with a Craftsman box also way back in the day, but as you get heavier tools, you will distort those boxes. I mean, you'll really chew them up, and then they don't open. You'll be like trying to get the damn drawers open. But you know, that's what I would recommend. The Mac tool guy gives you line of easy credit. That's the bad thing too. Do not go into debt with the freaking tool guys, tool trucks. Holy shit. I've seen so many people do that. Yeah, Milwaukee, I tell you what, I'm definitely, and I have DeWalt and I'm not getting rid of them, but I'm definitely a Milwaukee fan. That quarter-inch impact, whew, that thing is money. I am absolutely loving that thing, and I've used it a shitload. Once y'all see everything set up, you'll be like, oh, he has done a lot of tools, or has, you know, built a lot of stuff recently. Kroll, yeah. And I also, matter of fact, I just used some this evening. God, what is that other lubricant that I like? I like Kroll a lot. Shit, I just used it. I used it on the front door just a second ago on the lock. It's in the white can with the green trim. Duster, what the hell is it called? Y'all know what it. When you, if somebody says it, I'll say, "Yep, that's it." Pro Series still have it, yeah, and I've got a bunch of Pro stuff too. Scott says I used to run pneumatic tools for 12 hours a day. Then all I did was give them a little bit of squirt acryl. Yep, I've still got mine from shit 20 years ago, 30 years ago. They still run great. Yeah, the newer professional boxes are good now. Yeah. Yeah, Craftsman, it's their tools have gone down a lot. Thanks, Rabbi. I appreciate you, buddy. Dexter says, I feel like quarter inch is overlooked so much. You're exactly right. Quarter inch is awesome. I have quarter inch, I have impacts, I have regular sockets. I love quarter inch. And in aviation, I used a lot of quarter inch. Not so much, well, I mean, you do in automotive, but in aviation, I used a shitload of quarter inch 12 point. It's different. It's different than 6 point for automotive, but I did use a lot of 12 point. And I do prefer spline over 12 point, but I have both. Ballistol, yeah, that's good stuff. Ballistol is really great on leather as well and knives. What's up, Bad Karma? How are you? But yeah, I like Ballistol. I like the smell of it too. A lot of people kind of get pissy about it. Yeah, there's times you just don't need break the bolt power. Yeah, no, I've sheared plenty of bolts, and I have a. Now thinking about it, I don't think my Easy Out collection is what it used to be. But I've broken head bolts. I mean, those things are, and that's the funny thing. And if there's any engine builders out there, I will give you a tip. If you're putting head bolts in, if you'll take your bolts and you will put them in milk of magnesia, it's really weird, but if you will put them in there, lay them out, let them air dry, then put them in, you will never have a broken one. I mean, I've pulled them multiple times. After I did that, an old engine guy taught me that. He's like, just dip them in milk with magnesia, you won't ever have a problem. It's like an anti-seize. And be damned, he's right. Never had a problem with them after that. DB says, I still have 90% of my tools, sold off the specialty stuff and Snap-on torque wrench set. Yeah, I sold off a crap load of mine. However, I've bought a lot since. DB says, I once mistook 32 foot-pounds for inch-pounds. That bolt didn't stand a chance. I think you probably meant 32 inch-pounds for foot-pounds. But yeah, you can snap those suckers off quick, really quick. But yeah, I've been loading up on some tools and some other items, so I will share that with y'all when you want. But this office kind of has a theme now. So once it's more set up, I'll share it with y'all. Not every single thing, but I will share some things with y'all. But what was crazy is when I was going through everything, I was going through my mags. Ammo. I was going through stuff. I have ammo that I bought because I buy in bulk when it was really, really cheap. I haven't bought ammo in forever because I bought so much of it back then. I had ammo that I was looking at boxes and it was from 2009. So, I mean, that is a good thing when you stocked up when the prices were right. I'm not saying they're horrible now, but I bought when you could just get it for nothing. You liking your pliers wrench? Are you talking about the Cobra pliers? Yeah, I love them. I absolutely love them. The Knipex. Yeah, using the shit out of them. Matter of fact, I even bought some more. So, and I'll share those with y'all. If y'all are interested in tools, buy cheap and stack deep, and that's what I did. I bought thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of rounds, 5.56, 9mm, 308, 22. I mean, I can't even remember the last time. I bought 2,000 rounds of ammo. I didn't need it, but it was on a really good sale and it was local. They really did an online sale. However, that particular place is somewhat close to me. So I rolled in there and I'm like, hey, can I get your online price? And they were like, yeah, we'll do it for you. So I was like, sweet. So I grabbed 2,000 rounds. This was, I don't know, a year ago or something. And I grabbed 2,000 rounds because it was a really good price. Florida no tax holiday till the end of year on pews and ammo. Yeah, I saw that. That's really good, DB. Yes, open carry finally. Man, I'm just like, damn. I'm not a big open carry guy, but I think people should be able to do what they want, when they want, how they want. So, you know, I think that's a good thing that y'all are able to do that. Not, like I said, I'm not a big open carry guy. I have about 4,000 rounds of 5.45. So much smoother than 5.56, yeah. I haven't shot 5.45, and now I've never owned a 5.45. I've only shot one. It was not mine. But, damn, that's good that you have a bunch of it. Yeah, I mean, my wife was looking at me like I had a third eye when she was like, because she was helping me lift this stuff, and we were putting it on a dolly. And she was like, holy shit. And she even made a comment before I started the chat, and she's like, what are you doing with all that? I'm like, I shoot it. I haven't bought ammo in forever. And she's like, oh, wow. I like to have one of those small auto lifts, getting too old to get up and down on the concrete floor. Yeah, no, I gotcha. And you can get them fairly reasonable now. Price I see on the shelf is the price I paid year round. Well, I bought ammo, the 9mm, back when it was 1,000 rounds, shipped to your door. Shipped to your door for like $158 for 1,000 rounds of 9. So yeah, that's when I was loading up. It was like 1,000 rounds, like hitting the door every day. 5.45 and 5.56 AKs rock, yeah. Yeah, and you know, some people get all wrapped around the wheel about, oh my gosh, I'm gonna print. You know, I don't really worry about that much. You know, if you wear like kind of crazy shirts like I do and stuff, I'm not worried about that. Oh, I was eating yesterday. This is really weird. I was eating yesterday. I was sitting there minding my own business. I was all by myself, and I was eating lunch. And I saw this older man walking around. You know, didn't think anything of it. You know, seemed like a nice guy. He came around behind me, and he comes up and he grabs my shirt, and he's rubbing it. And I'm like, whoa, you know, and I'm like reaching. I'm like, whoa, and he goes, oh, sorry. He goes, man, he goes, I had a poncho shirt on. He goes, man, I've seen these advertised everywhere, and I've never seen anybody in public wearing one, and I want to know what your thoughts are. So me and this man had like a 10-minute conversation or 15-minute conversation about poncho shirts because he was going to order some, and he didn't know what size to get and what I like and what he should get. And he was asking me questions. I was like, man, I don't know your size. I'm like, here's what I wear. And he's like, how does it hang? He's like, when you get up, you know, will you stand and show me? I'm like, you know, I don't know, it was weird. But he was a very nice older man. But he was excited about the poncho shirts, and I just happened to have one on. So, anyway, I told him, I'm like, yes, I love them. Highly recommend them. I've got like, my wife even bought me 3 more the other day. I got a new denim. I got a new long sleeve. The denim is a long sleeve. The other one is a thin, but it's a long sleeve. And then I got another camo short sleeve. Yep, I agree with that, DB. Most people are clueless and not paying attention most of the time. Yep. I eat daily. DB said an older gentleman came up to me and grabbed my arm. He wanted to see my specific tattoo on my arm. Freaked me out. Yeah. I mean, at first I was like, whoa, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, and he was, he was feeling the fabric. And I was like, oh, and he's like, he goes, can you show me the lens cleaner? So I flipped it up and I'm like, here's, I didn't expose my piece, but I'm like, there's the lens cleaner. It's got the little sunglass holder. He's like, yeah, I've seen that. I've seen the pocket. But anyway, he was just infatuated with the poncho shirt. And he's like, and it was an orange one. It wasn't my Longhorn one because I did buy the NCAA Longhorn one, but it was an orange one. And he's like, oh, are you a Longhorn fan? I was like, yes, I am. However, he's not, Arch is not doing super, super great yet, but hopefully he'll get it locked in. If I put a poncho on, ice might pick me up. I know, that's what I was going to say, Pop Doctor. I would be like, hey, dude, do you mind if I check out your shirt or something? I wouldn't just walk up and, I don't know. Like I said, he was probably, I would assume he was probably 70, and, grandpa type. I mean, I'm a grandpa, but I think he's like an older grandpa. And I wasn't going to blast him in the hamburger place, but, I don't know. It was just weird. And a lot of people are super trusting, and he seemed like a really, really nice guy. Like I said, we talked for a while, and, I was cutting him some slack. But, if it would have been, I don't know, maybe a different situation, I probably would have been like, whoa, dude, back the hell off me. Yeah, and I get it, Dexter. They don't understand space. But like I said, he's probably, older generation, so I was going to cut him some slack. I wasn't trying to, smoke the old dude. And I did get some of the Lancer hybrid mags. I've posted, it was a really, really, really good deal. So I bought 6 more. I've already got orange ones, but I bought 6 more orange ones. These are the 30 Pez count. And again, I really do like the 20s as well. Run them on some of these here because they fit in bags better than a lot of the 30 Pez dispensers. The 20s work very well for bags. But yeah, I'm, like I said, if y'all want to see a review on this wall holder, let me know. And maybe I can make it happen. And again, I didn't reach out to the company and like, hey, send me this, blah, 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 because I just didn't know if I was going to like it. There is some things I kind of don't like about it, but there's some things I really, really, really do like about it. And the positives outweigh the negatives for sure. But if you want to hear those, that's cool. Not sure what has happened. Seems like almost everyone has lost their damn minds in touching others. Yeah. Like I said, he was an older dude. And that was kind of the thing back then, I guess. But, I cut him some slack. But if it would have been some, I don't want to say it, but you know what I mean. If it was like some younger, weirdo creeper guy, it might have been different. And again, I would never walk up and touch anyone. I would never do that. But, he was like the grandpa type, you could tell. I'm a pretty good judge of character. I didn't think he was meaning any harm by it. Pop Doctor says we were remodeling our bedroom, or bedroom with a gun cave. Looking for a wall display, what kind? Um, I'll do a review on it, like I said, if you want. The key to this one is you've got to put it in studs. So, um, if you put it in wall anchors, you're not going to be able to hold the weight I'm holding. I know you can't see it, and I'm not going to touch it, but I've got a 590A1 on there, a full orange 590A1. I've got a tricked out 16-inch 556. That's my Go Fast one, and it's fast. It's fun. It's got a Lantac Dragon brake on it. I've got my Lancer L30 Heavy Metal 308 on there. That's the Race 308. I've got a 556 Shorty, and then I've got a 300 Blackout Shorty on there. And it'll hold a lot of weight. But you need to, like I said, you've got to put it in studs for sure. So I will do a review on it if y'all want. I think it's, like I said, for the cost, it's very, very effective. And I could have reached out and just said, hey, send me one. They probably would have, but I was like, I just wanted to buy it, see what I thought about it, and go from there. Let me catch up here. G23 says most of us in this chat probably wouldn't walk up and just touch someone unless they deserved it. Yeah. Hello, Major Havoc. How are you? Yeah, I don't really touch people. Hello, Teddy. How are you? So if you're remodeling, now is the time to find placement for this with stud markings. Yeah, I've got a really good stud finder. I highly recommend a good stud finder. Not the old magnetic, old school ones, and that way you can find the start of the stud, the middle, and the end, so you can mark it. I did mark the wall. I did some good markings on it, knew exactly where my neutral was. Because this has a set, you have to be between this area. So I marked 3 times and drilled once, and I hit every stud. And didn't miss one. So I really lined it up, and I did the level. I did it right. I didn't want it to look shitty. Newer ones are like X-ray, right? This one I have, it basically, beep, 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 beep. So when you get to the edge, it shows the edge line. It's not an X-ray through the wall, but it hits the line and then shows you the medium and shows you the end, so that way you can do your markings on the wall. I've had this stud finder for probably, 10 years, but it works great. Measure twice, cut or drill once, correct. Yep, I don't like punching a bunch of holes in walls, and I've seen people do that. I think it is ultrasound. Yeah, it's not a super cheap one. It's not super expensive though, but it works very well, and you can actually adjust it. You can go in and adjust the sensitivity. But yeah, I'm pretty happy how it came out. And it'll hold a lot of weight if you go into the studs. And man, I was using the Milwaukee, the impact, 1/4-inch impact, and man, that thing freaking rocks. I absolutely love that thing. I'm sold. I was just like, why did you wait so long to get one of these? I've always had impact drills and hammer drills and stuff like that, but this freaking little Milwaukee stubby 1/4-inch is money. Matter of fact, I want to buy the stubby 3/8 impact. This one is the bit, of course. Damn, that was quick. Got 21 in and 22 thumbs up. That's awesome. All right, we got to do Armsman is number 2. Dexter is number 1. Yes, the impact driver. Yes. Big fan. And it's the M12. I don't need an M18. I just really don't. Not for what I'm doing, but I am absolutely loving the M12 Impact. Dexter says, yeah, I have some Hercules stuff that has been doing work for me. Yeah, that's awesome, man. I'm not knocking the Hercules stuff. Matter of fact, I really like Harbor Freight a lot. Their tools have came a long way. And y'all don't know it, but I've a lot of Icon stuff. So if you want me to do reviews on it, I will. I've been using it. And actually really liking the stuff. And that is, and I will say this, when you go to a Taiwan tool versus a China tool, Taiwan usually has stricter a little better fitting than China does on a lot of their tools. Ranger says, I love Harbor Freight. Yeah, they've gotten a lot of my money recently, and there's a lot of the shit y'all haven't seen. When y'all see this room, you're going to be like, holy shit. Tolerances, yeah. Yeah, and some of it, it just looks like crap. I mean, not just tolerances, just the quality of the metal and stuff. And they say it's vanadium. Some of it's not. Man, you put it on a regular socket, you're just snapping that shit because some of it's garbage. But so far, I'm actually very impressed with the Icon stuff. What is up, Lynn Holt? How are you, buddy? Hope you were doing well. But yeah, I'm really enjoying Harbor Freight. I've got well, here's one of them, but there's one of the receipts. I've got a stack of freaking receipts from these guys. I'm still waiting for one more item to come in. I had to order it. So all the other items have came in that I've ordered. So if that gives any hints, y'all might know. But damn, that was good whiskey. Buffalo Trace is my go-to. It is my go-to. What's up, MZ? How are you? But new items, huh? Yeah, I've got a bunch of new items, Dexter. A bunch. What is up, Clyde Cumberland? Clyde is in the house. Long-time subscriber. Appreciate you, Clyde. Len Holt said, snapped a roll pin punch just a few minutes ago. Unbelievable. Roll pin punches can snap. I've snapped many of them. They're not made like they used to be. And trust me, I have snapped so many freaking Snap-on roll pin punches. I have probably 6 or 7 of them that are broken, but I have no tool truck guy anymore to replace them. So, and I could go hit up a dealership, and find out, hey, what day does your Snap-on guy come and get them replaced? But some of those guys are dicks. They are just dickheads. If you're not giving them money and paying them weekly, they don't give a shit about you. That's why it is. And I've even asked that question too. What do you think about Snap-on and Mac and Cornwell versus Icon? And I will say this, Snap-on tools are great tools. I'm not discrediting their tools at all. Really do make a great tool. However, waiting for the Snap-on guy, waiting for the Mac guy, waiting for the Cornwell guy, whatever. If you can go to Harbor Freight and just get it switched out immediately and quickly, there you go. Is it all the hype they used to be that you have to have Snap-on? No, it's not. Again, the tooth system on a lot of their ratchets are incredible. The Icon Gen 2s have gotten much better. Would I have to have a Snap-on? I still have Snap-ons. But would I have to have a Snap-on versus an Icon G2? Not their G1. G2s are awesome. I really do like them a lot. Dexter says, you ever picked up a terminal cleaner, sets of electrical connections? Yeah. I mean, yeah, I've got them. I've got them. I have, man. I sold off a bunch of my impact wrenches, or not impact wrenches, torque wrenches. I sold off a bunch of my torque wrenches, my half-inch impact sockets. I don't really have anymore. My half-inch impact wrenches, I sold those off. Or I'm sorry, my ratchets, half-inch impact or half-inch ratchets. I don't really have those anymore. Um, Snap-on boxes, I sold those off. I sold a bunch of specialty tools. Um, but I've since bought other tools. And some are Harbor Freight. Um, I still have broken Snap-on wrenches. I have broken Snap-on impact sockets. I mean, I can go through my toolbox and show you the broken shit that I still have that I need to get warrantied out. Yeah, the a lot of Snap-ons, if you really look at them, a lot are made by other companies. A lot of them are U.S. made. Um, and they just put the Snap-on name on them. Not saying every one of them, but a lot of them are. Like some of their wrenches, um, or not wrenches. I'm sorry, pliers and things like that are made by Boxo. I think it's Boxo or Boco, B-O-C-O or B-O-K-O or something like that. And they are U.S. made, but not every single thing is. Tecton, yep, Tecton's good. Thanks, DB. I appreciate you, buddy. But yeah, I mean, for the average person nowadays, just to go out and just buy a shitload of Snap-on tools, as an ex-technician with automotive and aviation, I would highly not recommend that. Don't put yourself in debt. Get yourself going with what you can afford, and then if you want some tools here and there, buy them when you can afford them, and don't tote a note on a tool truck. I would highly not recommend that, and I've seen in the past so many people do that. It's just not what it used to be. There are other great options out there, and honestly, I'm really liking all of the Icon stuff. I really am. I'm not saying it's perfect, but for the average DIYer, basic technician, um, you know, I mean, I think you're going to be perfectly fine with those, and you can get them, replaced easily if you break them. They have a lifetime warranty. You're going to break Snap-on tools. If anybody tells you they have never broken a Snap-on tool, they're not a real fucking technician. I will tell you that right off the bat. I've broken Mac. I've broken Snap-on. Matter of fact, I've got a ratcheting screwdriver that's broken from Snap-on. I've got a bent screwdriver that's broken from Snap-on, and I did not pry with it. So I've got a bunch of broken shit. If you're a real technician, you're going to break shit. So don't let people, I've never broken a Snap-on tool. That's because you don't turn that tool enough. You don't beat the shit out of that tool. You're going to break shit. If the store is close enough, it sometimes gets you out of a jam for sure. Yeah, I mean, shit, I know guys that have run Milwaukee's. They go to, Home Depot, buy batteries if they need them really quickly. Like I said, do what works for you. Do not put yourself in debt for freaking having brand name tools. And that's another thing. I had Snap-on boxes. I had a lot of Snap-on tools, but I also had Mac. I had Cornwell. I had Blue Point. I was not like everything has to be Snap-on. I'm not that matching guy. Because there's great tools. Mac had some really great crow's feet. Better than Snap-on. And they were cheaper. And so I bought those. When you really start knowing what you want and what you need. But, a new starting out technician might not know that yet. They're going to get that if they're a journeyman under another technician, and going maybe by his recommendations. If he's a good tech, he's going to recommend that to his journeyman of what you might look for and what you might not. What is the interest on Snap-on on accounts? Some of them will do no interest. There are some Snap-on guys out there where now depending on the amount you spend, some will do no interest, but they will say, hey, if you're buying this set of tools, say it's $400. They're like, I need $100 a week for 4 weeks. I won't charge you any interest. Some will do that, but if you're buying boxes and stuff like that, some may charge you interest. It depends on your Snap-on guy or your Mac guy. Or I've never had a lady as a tool truck person. I'm not saying they're not out there. I just haven't seen one personally that I've dealt with in the past. But I personally have never been charged interest. Not saying they don't, I just haven't. Destroy says, greetings from Poland. Greetings. Some things are cry once, buy once for sure, but not others so much. I agree with that. There are some optics that I'll buy. There's some flashlights that I'll buy. And as far as tools, there are some tools. If I'm going to beat the dog shit out of those tools, we'll put it this way. I guess nowadays, not being a tech for a living, I could beat the shit out of a Harbor Freight tool, and if I break it, get it replaced. But again, a tool, you're going to break tools. If you are a real technician, I will say it 1,000 times, you're going to break tools. Every true technician I've known, whether it's in aviation or as an auto technician, I have never known techs to not break a tool. I have broken breaker bars. Now, was I over torquing them? Hell yes. I have broken breaker bars. And people are like, how the hell did you break that? I'm like, I'm your guy. I broke that shit. So I've broken breaker bars. So if it's tools like that, breaker bars, I recommend just getting Harbor Freight stuff. Good, like Icon or Pittsburgh or something like that. Or what is it, the Quinn? Yeah, it is, Scott. It's about building up relationships. Trust me, I used to have guys come in, hey, Johnson, what do you need? Big Johnson, what do you need? What do you need? I'm like, I need a mirror. I need an inspection mirror. And they're like, what? You're going to spend like $12, $18 with me? I'm like, I don't need anything else. Y'all don't know this. I had plenty of boxes. I had multiple boxes. And I sold all my Snap-on boxes. I had a 72 with a top. Also had a 56, no top. 56 stainless steel top. What were they? They were both Snap-on. Damn, I can't remember the name of them. It wasn't the lower tier, it wasn't the middle. One of them was the top tier, and one of them was the middle tier. I can't remember what the hell the numbers were. It's been so long ago. But anyway, they're going to last. However, you look at some of the General boxes, you look at some of the Icon boxes, you look at some of the Mac boxes, even Cornwell boxes. Nowadays, there's people building really good boxes. You don't have to have a Snap-on toolbox. I've heard some people say, I want Craftsman or Craftsman Professional. I've got Craftsman Professional wrenches, which a lot of people don't even know they had, but I've got tons of those, and they work great. But they were back when they were made really, really good. I don't know how they are now. Force multiplication, hell yeah. You can bend anything, you can break anything. I've put some serious torque on shit. Damn, Fina got timed out? What happened to Fina? Did she say something wrong? I just don't think you should. I don't think, and that's what some people, the tool truck guys, some of them can be dicks. they can say, oh, if you don't buy anything from me, I'm not going to warranty your tools. What? You know, screw them. I'm like, dude, I bought this as Snap-on. You're a Snap-on rep. You need to change my freaking tools. But I had a couple of them back in the day. It's like, oh, you hadn't bought anything in a long time. I don't know if I need to warranty your tools. And I'm like, you don't warranty my tools, there'll be problems. You know, on the route that I had, we ended up getting like, I don't know, it was like, this is over the years, multiple years, we had probably 3 Snap-on guys. I think they kept buying out each other's routes. And one of them was awesome. He was an older guy, he was retiring. Then we got this younger guy, he was a dickhead. Thought his shit didn't even stink. He didn't even know that much about his tools. You know, and I'm like having to educate him on his own damn tools. He didn't even know how to change a freaking screwdriver blade out of a handle. Because the thing is, they don't just give you a new screwdriver. They change your blade out of your screwdriver. He didn't know how to take a freaking blade out of a damn Snap-on screwdriver head. And I was like, you want me to do it for you? I mean, I'm like, shit, dude, is this your first day? That's when you call corporate. If their corporate is good, they'll straighten out the rep. Yeah, and I even exchanged some tools through corporate. I was like, I'm not dealing with this dickhead. So, and they were like, yep, you know, we'll send you a label, send us your tools, we'll switch them out. These were tools that I didn't need on a daily basis. So I was like, yeah, that's cool. A matter of fact, there was a Snap-on guy, he would eat at a hamburger joint. I'm trying to remember the name of the hamburger place. It was on Harry Hines. It was a small hole-in-the-wall hamburger place. He ate there like every Thursday. And he let me know that. He's like, dude, I'm here every Thursday. I come in and eat lunch like from 11 to 12 or 11 to 1 or whatever. He's like, just meet me here and I'll change your tools out. So I was like, cool. So he changed a couple of my tools out for me. I just started buying from him right there. I was like, I'm gonna give you my money, not my dickhead Snap-on guy. So that's the way I did it. But like I said, I just don't think anybody should go into debt for tools. Those days are over with. They're making great tools elsewhere, and I think spend your money wisely. Arjun says, man, I used to hang out in my Snap-on guy's truck while he swapped and fixed tools. Yeah, back in the day, man, I'm not saying, I don't know every Snap-on guy. I'm not trying to hate on any of them. But yeah, there's some guys that are really, really good. And then there's some guys that are just all about getting that $20 a month from Joe Blow. And I'm like, you only stopped here so you could pick up $20. I'm like, what a dick. Thanks, Dexter. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, we got an ankle biter dog. It's my wife's dog. It's a Chihuahua. It's a great dog. But man, she can hear shit from like 3 miles away. It's crazy. She's better than my damn alarm system. Now, of course, you know, I mean, she knows what's going on. And that's good. Her hearing hasn't failed her yet. Your story on the tool truck guy. Yeah, I've got multiple stories on the tool truck guy. One guy actually thought I was another guy one time and that I owed him money. He's like, you owe me money. And I'm like, what? I never bought shit from you. He's like, yeah, you owe me money. He's like, you're so-and-so, so-and-so. And I'm like, no, I'm not. He's like, yeah, you are. You look just like him. I'm like, no, I'm not that guy. I'm like, that guy hasn't worked here in like 5 years. He goes, you like owe me money. I'm like, screw you, dude. I don't owe you shit. And, you know, anyway, then a guy came on the truck and he's like, what's up, Johnson? And he's like, oh, you're not that guy. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not that guy, asshole. And I was ripping his ass apart. Anyway, he felt so bad. I went back in and I was working on something. He felt so bad, he came and brought me a Snap-on picks, you know, like the little, you know, your picks, like you pick O-rings out. He felt so bad that he accused me of being another person. He gave me a set of picks. He's like, man, I'm so sorry. Here, I just want to make it right. I'll give you a set of picks. And I was like, yeah, whatever, dude. Thanks. But like I said, you know, don't go into debt over something, especially if you're not turning wrenches for a living. You know, you're going to be fine with Harbor Freight, or, you know, I would say stay with a better brand of tool that has a lifetime warranty, where you can go and get it physically replaced. And you don't have to wait or mail it in or any of that kind of shit. Because some of these places are like, oh, you mail it to us. So you're spending the money to mail it. And then you gotta wait till you get it. That way you can just go into Harbor Freight or go in somewhere and exchange it out. That's the best way to do it. But it is 8:05, you know. If y'all want to see a review on, you know, if you're watching it after the chat and you want to see a review on the gun wall or the gun rack, let me know. I'll see what I can put together. Like I said, there are some goods and some bads with it. The goods do outweigh the bads, but I'll be glad to tell you 100% of the truth because I bought the damn thing. You know, tell you the goods and the bads. I didn't reach out to the company and say, hey, send this to me. They probably would have. It's not that expensive. But so far, I'm actually impressed with it. Dexter says that is one issue with some of the bigger battery brand stuff that you have to mail it in or find a repair center. Yeah. I mean, I get it. You know, I am a big Milwaukee guy now. Okay, I'm a believer. I'm also a DeWalt guy, so don't get it twisted. I do like DeWalt as well. But yeah, I mean, and also if you know how to jump batteries, sometimes they won't, when you put them on a charger, they won't, you know, work correctly or won't take a charge. There's a way you can dissipate them with razor blades and wires if you know how to do it. I've gotten batteries that won't take a charge, and I've jumped them and gotten them to take a charge afterwards. So I've been through that before. This is my first rodeo. Most people don't wait to have the time. Yeah, they need the tool now for work. That's true. Yep. Yeah, that trick does work. Yeah, I've done it many times. Made a jumper wire for that. Yeah, I've done the old razor blades. And jumpers. You can use alligator clips. Depending on the way your actual battery is set up, you can do different ways to make it work. I've used razor blades before where I've jumped razor blades to razor blades. You know, and that's the thing. I will say this. I used to have all the Snap-on impacts, you know, the battery operated impacts. I won't ever buy another one. Milwaukee has surpassed them. So if you're needing a really, really good, you know, battery, and I don't have any experience with the Hercules or the Bauer personally, so I can't speak for them. I'm sure they're great, but I could highly recommend the Milwaukees. Flat blade connectors, yeah. I mean, if there's a will, there's a way. If you're a technician or at least willing to figure it out, you can make it work. I've actually taken batteries completely apart, the battery packs completely apart, soldered new batteries in. I had a bad cell in a couple of them and I've soldered them back in. People are like, you did that? I'm like, yeah, they're freaking cheap. Yep, brushless 5-year warranty is nice, yeah. And I've had tools, man, I've had for 15 years. You know, I've talked about it in some of the tool things I've done. And if y'all want to see more tool reviews, you know, let me know. I've got a bunch of new tools that y'all haven't even seen. We can't see the guns. Can you fill the can? These are only airsoft. These are all airsoft. They're all airsoft. I only run airsoft. But anyway, yeah, we'll go ahead and shut it down. It is 8:09. If y'all have any questions, comments, anything like this after the chat, please let me know. You know, y'all want to see any specific reviews, let me know. You know, I've got some stuff that's going to be coming. It is going to be some tool reviews. I've got some other reviews. I can't say what they are yet. But yeah, this whole room is being completely redone. The paint, we're going to hold off on the paint for right now. My wife can't do it yet. and she doesn't trust me with a paintbrush. I'm not a paintbrush guy. I'm a tearing up or repairing guy. I'm not a paintbrush guy. So she wants to do it perfect, and she's a perfectionist. That's her bread and butter. Armstrong says, can we get a review on the new Osight S? Not from my channel. You'd have to go to somebody else for that. Pop Doctor says, I wouldn't mind a review of the gun rack. Good night, everyone. Yeah, I'll do it. I'll get that for you. Ahmed, yes. These are real. So, yeah. Again, we've got 12 gauge, 308, 300 blackout, 5.56. So, yeah. There's no orange on the ends. So, but anyway, I appreciate y'all so much. Y'all have a wonderful evening. And remember what we're saying now. Love one another. If you haven't talked to someone, please reach out to them. Just say, hey, I'm thinking about you. You know, I wanted to check on you, make sure you're okay. People are needing that now. You know, there's a lot of weird stuff that's going on right now. So we want to, love one another. And also, Pop Doctor, remember, reach out to me. Maybe we can get a chat together where we can go on and, talk about what's going on with you. But I appreciate y'all so much. Remember, an unarmed nation's a very weak nation, so we all got to carry on. The gun this week has been the Shadow Systems XR920 CR920 XP. So that is what I've been carrying this week. But I appreciate y'all so much. Y'all have a wonderful evening. And remember, our nation's a very weak nation, so we all got to carry on. Thanks, everyone. Y'all take care.